Good morning, students. Today we will read class 10 science, chapter 13, that is magnetic effects of electric current. In previous class, we have already discussed about how a charge or current carrying conductor shows magnetic field, magnetic effect. Today we will discuss some rule, that is right hand thumb rule or Fleming's rule. First, we will discuss about right hand thumb rule. A convenient way of finding the direction of magnetic field associated with a current carrying conductor is, imagine that you are holding a current carrying straight conductor in your right hand such that the thumb points towards the direction of current, then your finger will wrap around the conductor in the direction of field lines of the magnetic field. Like when you are holding any straight conductor in this way, here this direction of thumb shows the direction of electric current and the curling of other fingers shows the direction of magnetic field, that is the direction of field lines. That is the right hand thumb rule. So when we are holding the straight conductor, if the current moves from bottom to top towards top, means when the direction of current is in upward, then the curling of other fingers shows anti-clockwise. So if the direction of current is upward, this one is correct. Then curling of fingers is in this direction, that is anti-clockwise. It is the direction of field. Direction of field lines. So when current moves from bottom to top or in upward direction, then field lines will move in anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, when the current moves from top to bottom, like when current moves from top to bottom, then field lines will move in clockwise direction. That is right hand thumb. When current moves from bottom to top, it is anti-clockwise. When it is top to bottom, it is clockwise. Or this rule is also proposed by Maxwell, that is called Maxwell-Corkscrew rule. If we consider ourselves driving a corkscrew in the direction of current, then direction of corkscrew is the direction of the magnetic field. Next, the magnetic field due to current through a circular. Let it is taken a board. A cardboard is there. When a loop is taken and it is passing through this board, now both the ends of the loop is connected. These are connected. With a battery and a plug in. Here some iron fillings are spreaded. It is spreaded some iron fillings. This carbon, circular loop, conducting wire, source of electric current and a plug. Now put on the switch by which electric current will flow from this positive terminal of the battery towards this negative terminal. Here, after passing electric current through the loop, you have to tip the board here. When electric current is flowing through this loop, you have to tap the board, and after some times you will observe these iron fillings will be arranged themselves in the form of concentric circles. Iron plates themselves will be arranged in form of concentric circles there. So how it happens? Here we have observed the patterns of magnetic field lines produced around a current carrying straight wire. Suppose the straight wire is bent in the form of circular loop and a current is passed through it. The magnetic field will look like this. We know that the magnetic field produced by a current carrying straight wire depends inversely on the distance from it. Similarly, at every point of a current carrying circular loop, the concentric circles representing the magnetic field around it would become larger and larger. So we move away from the wire. By the time we reach at the center of the circular loop, the arc of these big circles would appear as straight line. At every point on the wire, carrying conductor would give rise to a magnetic field appearing as straight line at the center of the loop. And by applying the right hand thumb rule, we can find the direction of the field lines here. If we place a magnetic compass, we can find the direction of that field lines also. It is easy to check that every section of wire contributes to magnetic field lines in the same direction within the loop. Here, we know that the magnetic field produced by a current carrying wire at a given point depends directly on the current passing through it. Therefore, if there is a circular coil having n turns, the field produces n times larger than that produced by a single turn. It is because the current in each circular turn has the same direction and the field due to each turn then just adds up. So how the direction of these field lines will marked? This one is the section of this board. These are the concentric circles formed around the ends of the loop. Here, current is flowing in upward direction at this end, and current is flowing in downward direction at this end. Here, at this end, it is in this T. This one is end A. This one is end E. Here, current is flowing in upward direction here. Since current is flowing from bottom to top in upward direction, according to right hand thumb rule, the direction of field lines is anti-clockwise. So, current is flowing in this direction and field lines are moving in this direction, anti-clockwise. But here, current is flowing in downward direction, that is top to bottom. Like this, current is flowing in this direction from top to bottom. Here, according to right hand thumb rule, this one is the direction of current, and curling of other fingers is in clockwise direction. So, field lines will move in this direction, that is clockwise direction. In this way, we can find the direction of field lines. Next, magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. What is solenoid? First we have to learn it. A coil of many circular turns of insulated copper wire that is wrapped closely in the shape of a cylinder, that is called solenoid. Like the insulated copper wire which is wrapped in form of a cylinder, in the shape of cylinder, the insulated copper wire is wrapped closely, that is called solenoid. It is the shape of cylinder. The pattern of magnetic field lines around a current carrying solenoid is similar to that of the bar magnet. This like bar magnet, the pattern of magnetic field that is found in bar magnet. Then in case of solenoid, it has also same pattern. Which magnetic field of these two things are similar, that are bar magnet and solenoid. In fact, one end of the solenoid behaves a magnetic north pole, while the other behaves as a south pole. The field lines inside the solenoid are in the form of parallel straight lines. Here, the field lines, they become a closed curves. When they move from this pole to this pole, so one end to another end, they will move inside. But they all are in parallel form. This indicates that the field produced inside this solenoid is uniform at every point. It is same at all points inside the solenoid. That is, the field is uniform inside the solenoid. A strong magnetic field produced inside a solenoid can be used to magnetize a piece of magnetic material like soft iron. If it is placed a soft iron to if a piece of soft iron is placed inside this solenoid, then the strength of magnetic field will increase there. The magnet so formed by placing this soft iron inside the solenoid is called electromagnet. Now the solenoid is said to be when it is placed soft iron inside this solenoid, now it is said to be electromagnet. If we want to increase the strength of this electromagnet, so how to increase it? First, when the amount of electricity that is provided by the battery be increased, then strength of this electromagnet or the strength of the magnetic field produced by solenoid will be increased. First one is increasing. How? Strength can be increased by first amount of electricity which is flowing through this solenoid be increased, or flowing through the copper wire be increased by increasing electric current. Second, if the turnings of copper wire will increase, then the strength of magnetic field can also be increased. By increasing of turnings of copper wire. If more number of turns are there, then strength also increased accordingly. If it is increased n times, then strength also increased by n times. Third, strength can be increased by decreasing the air gap. By decreasing the air gap. Air gap means the distance between both the ends of the magnet, electromagnet, that solenoid. If the air gap is decreased, if the turnings are very close, both the ends are closely done, or it is made very closely, or in a small space it is wrapped, the turnings closely, then the strength also increased accordingly. By this method, we can increase the strength of magnetic field produced by the electromagnet or that of solenoid. Next, we will discuss about the force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. How the force applied when a conductor carries some electric current in a magnetic field. It is a Hertz magnet and a straight conductor is here. Here, both the ends of this straight conductor, it is attached with the terminals of a battery through a plug. What will happen here? The straight conductor, that is taken an aluminum rod named AB, about 5 cm, using two connecting wires suspended in horizontally from the stand. Now it is placed a strong horseshoe magnet in such a way that the rod lies between the two poles of the magnetic field directly in upward. For this, put the north pole of the magnetic field vertically below and the south pole vertically above the aluminum rod. This is north, this is south of the magnet. Connect the aluminum rod in series with a battery and key and also rheostat. Now pass current through aluminum rod from end B to end A. Positive. Here current is flowing from B to A. What do we observe here? It is observed that the rod is displaced towards the left, the rod will displace towards its left side. You will notice that the rod gets displaced. Reverse the direction of current flowing through the rod and you will observe the rod will be displaced in opposite direction. In first case, when the current moves from B to A, when the current moves from B to A, rod displaced towards left. The rod displaced towards left. But in second case, when this one is first case, second case, when current moves from A to B, when we change the terminal, it will move in this direction A to B. In that case, rod will displace towards right. So when the direction of current is reversed, then the displacement of rod also gets reversed here. This displacement of rod in the activity suggests that a force is exerted on the current carrying aluminum rod where it is placed in a magnetic field. It is also suggests that the direction of current also reversed when the direction of force is also reversed when the direction of current through the conductor is reversed. Now change the direction of field to vertically downward by interchanging the poles of the magnet, like south pole, north pole, that will be changed. It is once again observed that the direction of force acting on the current carrying conductor gets reversed there. It shows that the direction of force on the conductor depends upon the direction of current and the direction of magnetic field. These experiments show that the displacement of rod is largest when the direction of current is at straight line to the direction of magnetic field. If direction of magnetic field and direction of current are perpendicular, then we get maximum force there. In such a condition, we can use a simple rule to find the direction of force of the conductor. That is Fleming's left hand rule. What is Fleming's left hand rule? Let's discuss it. Fleming's left hand rule. According to this rule, stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. The first finger points the direction of magnetic field, the second finger the direction of current, and the thumb will show the direction of motion or the force acting on the conductor. And the devices that use current carrying conductor and magnetic fields include electric motor, electric generator, loudspeakers, microphone and measuring instrument. Next class we will discuss about some other things, that is Fleming's right hand rule or electric motor. Thank you.